Good morning and welcome to Channel 10 News at 8. I'm Sam Schroeder. A developing story has come out of Montgomery County that a recently discovered virus commonly found in cows has started to infect humans as well. Most recent figures suggest that there's an estimated 20 cases of the virus. Currently known symptoms of this virus include fever, prolonged coughing fits, chest pain, shortness of breath, and increased phlegm production. The Montgomery County Health Department does not consider this virus a serious threat to the public at this time. However, they will monitor the virus closely, as well as the patients infected with it. Welcome back to Channel 10 News. The new virus, which has recently crossed species from cows to humans, has continued to spread, whereas now there are an estimated 350 cases of the virus. The symptoms of this virus include fever, prolonged coughing fits, chest pain, shortness of breath, and increased phlegm production. The Montgomery County Health Department has still not considered this a serious threat to the public. However, they have come out with a statement recently on how one can protect themselves from potentially getting infected. The statement reads, "To protect yourself getting infected, it is advised that you don't drink milk which has not been pasteurized, avoid getting within 10 feet of an infected person or animal, and wash your hands frequently. The health department will continue to monitor the situation as it develops."
Right, so we just got this new specimen from some farm in Virginia, and we're trying to identify it.
Yeah, isn't this the new respiratory illness from the cows?
Yes, and by the looks of it, it's polyhedral, similar to adenoviruses, but it can't be that, can it?
I don't know. Maybe if we can get a closer look, get a better understanding of it. Considering its shape and the fact that it's a respiratory illness, that is probably our best explanation at the moment.
Why don't we take it to the electron microscope? Okay, let's take a look at this thing. Oh my, I'm noticing some unusual patterns.
Let me get a look real quick. It looks like there's a overabundance of core proteins, 6 and 8. And it also looks like instead of 12 penton bases, there's 14.
Which could make the virus stronger and make it easier for it to bind to host cells.
So what's the current figure on the number of cases?
About 6 to 700.
700? What? 3 days ago, it was only about 300. How did it jump up that much?
People are now becoming aware of it, and now hospitals are starting to fill up.
Any deaths yet?
Not that I'm aware of just yet, but there are a couple people in pretty serious condition. They can hardly breathe, they can hardly speak, or really do anything at all, pretty much.
Oh my, alright.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 10 News at 8. We've just been handed recent developments in the story of the novel virus which was recently discovered in Montgomery County. Cases have now risen to 2,500, and we are beginning to see it spread to surrounding counties as well. Pulaski County has around 100 cases, Floyd County around 300, and Roanoke County around 50. Unfortunately, there have been a few deaths from the virus as well. The early stage symptoms of this virus include fever, prolonged coughing fits, chest pain, shortness of breath, and increased phlegm production. The later stage symptoms may include difficulty breathing or speaking, and fluid buildup in the lungs. The Virginia Department of Health has declared this new virus a serious danger to the health of the public. They have come out with a statement on how one can protect themselves from potentially getting infected. It is advised that you keep at least a 10-foot distance between you and another person in public. Wash your hands after touching public surfaces, or if soap and water isn't available, use a hand sanitizer with at least 65% alcohol content. If you experience any of the aforementioned symptoms, please stay inside your home. If symptoms persist or get worse, seek medical attention.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Virginia Department of Health. This is a public health bulletin pertaining to a recently discovered disease, which officials have theorized to be relative of the adenovirus. This virus is believed to have originated from cattle. An estimated 4,000 people have been infected with this virus. The highest concentration of cases is in Montgomery County, but recent reports have confirmed its spread into surrounding areas. The early stage symptoms of this virus include fever, prolonged coughing fits, chest pain, shortness of breath, and increased phlegm production. Later symptoms may include extreme difficulty breathing or speaking, fluid buildup in the lungs, lung abscesses, and eventually, death. The Virginia Department of Health advises all residents inside the affected areas to take the following precautions. Keep at least a 10-foot distance between you and others in public. Wash your hands after touching public surfaces. If soap and water is not available, use a hand sanitizer with at least 65% alcohol. If you experience any of the aforementioned symptoms, stay inside your home. If symptoms persist or get worse, seek medical attention. The governor's office has also issued martial law for the affected counties. All residents in Floyd, Montgomery, Pulaski, and Roanoke counties have been ordered to be inside their homes by 10 p.m. and are not to leave their homes until 6 a.m. the next morning, except in cases of life-threatening emergencies. A quarantine blockade has been set up around these counties to prevent the spread of the virus into the rest of the state. Anyone caught trying to breach the blockade will be arrested on site. Attempting to resist or escape arrest will result in lethal force being used against you. Stay tuned for more information on this developing situation.
Welcome to Channel 10 News. I'm Sam Schroeder. Earlier today, the Virginia Department of Health announced it would be enacting mandatory curfew and martial law in Floyd, Montgomery, Pulaski, and Roanoke counties. Residents in these respective counties have been ordered to be inside their homes by 10 p.m. and are not to leave their homes until 6 a.m. the next morning, except in cases of life-threatening emergencies. A quarantine blockade has also been set up around these counties, and residents inside the blockade are not allowed to leave, nor anyone outside allowed in. Many citizens have strong opinions on these laws, taking to the social media app X, formerly known as Twitter, and expressing their deep distaste for these laws. Ridiculous, one user wrote. Has no one learned their lesson from COVID? Another user wrote, I guess we know who to vote out in the next election. We have a caller on the line with us right now, 32-year-old Cade Wilbur from Pulaski County. Cade, welcome to the show. Please, go on ahead.
Thanks for having me on, Sam. So, lately I've been trying to tend to my welding business, and I need tools and materials from outside the quarantine area to keep the business going. But these new rules have made those trips completely impossible. I have no idea how I'm supposed to pay my bills and feed my wife and two kids at home. I just think this whole quarantine situation is completely unnecessary, and the state of Virginia has completely overreacted to this illness to the point where they are resorting to tyranny just to keep us safe.
Well, that certainly seems like a tough situation to be in, and of course, I know a lot of people share that same viewpoint. But I want to ask you a question because there have been plans for protests against the martial law. What are your feelings about this protest?
Oh, I'm all for it 100%, and quite frankly, I think there should be more done to ensure that our freedoms will not be taken from us. The government should not be forcing us to stay within a certain area, closed off from the rest of the country, and prosecuting us for trying to leave. It's like we're living in some sort of dictatorship. I hate to say it, Sam, but I think it's time we use our Second Amendment rights just as our founding fathers did. Use them to restore our freedoms and stop these tyrannical lawmakers from taking any more of our freedoms away from us. And remind them of just who they are messing with. I'm encouraging all my fellow Americans who don't want their freedoms taken away to pick up their guns and defend themselves from those who wish to persecute and enslave us all.
I'm terribly sorry, but we cannot allow any more of that on the air. Friendly reminder that we here at Channel 10 do not condone violence against the government or any officials forming the blockade, especially if firearms are involved. Moving on, we've just been handed the most recent figures on case numbers. 4,600 people have contracted the virus, with 3,500 of those cases being from Montgomery County.
Right, so about a week ago, we brought in a patient infected with this new illness, and we've been studying his symptoms.
Well, from what we know, he's been dead for 3 days. There's nothing more to really take note of.
We can't just dump the body outside the lab, that would further spread the illness.
Well, what are we supposed to do then?
Okay, what is going on? Why is he making that noise? He's supposed to be dead, right?
Right.
Oh shit, let me turn down the light.
How is this happening? He died 3 days ago!
Hungry. Brains. Tasty.
What's he trying to say?
Maybe he needs food?
Hungry. Brains. Tasty. Must eat.
Why is he moving towards me? What's with the look on his face?
Brains. Tasty. Must eat. Oh my god, get him off me!
Oh shit! Someone hold him down!
Brains. Must eat. Blood must drink.
Okay. Okay, we got him shut down. Holy fuck.
Brains.
What the hell is that about? It's like he's some sort of mindless killer with a thirst for blood!
Brains.
And brains. But how? And why?
We need to tell the supervisor about this. This is not normal.
The following is a bulletin related to a recently discovered virus which originated in Virginia. This virus was originally discovered in domestic cattle, but in the last month has begun to infect humans as well. The current number of cases for this virus as of this morning is over 9,000. Our research team has been working tirelessly to figure out its properties. So far, we have concluded that this virus is a mutation of the adenovirus. Adenoviruses are medium-sized, non-enveloped viruses with an icosahedral nucleocapsid containing a double-stranded DNA genome. Their name derives from their initial isolation from human nasopharyngeal tonsils, or adenoids, in 1953. This specific virus has been given the name BHADVC11. Street name, Listeria. Common symptoms of this virus include fever, coughing, difficulty breathing or swallowing, and chest pain, which may later progress to more serious symptoms such as respiratory failure, lung abscesses, and eventually, the virus will spread to the nervous system, making the infected individual appear dead for 1 to 4 days before waking once again in homicidal rage with a thirst for blood and hunger for the brain of a person or animal that has not yet been infected. Due to its highly contagious nature and severe and unusual symptoms, the United States President has been notified of this outbreak. A quarantine blockade has been implemented around the affected areas to ensure that this outbreak of the Listeria virus does not spread to other areas of the country. This blockade will be enforced by National Guard personnel. No person inside the quarantine area will be allowed outside of it unless they have been confirmed without a doubt not to have the virus, and they have received special permission from the United States government. Martial law has been put into place inside the quarantined area. Residents have been ordered to be inside their homes by 10 p.m. and are not to leave their homes until 6 a.m. the next morning, except in cases of life-threatening emergencies, where the person in question is a licensed medical professional. All non-essential businesses inside the quarantine area have been shut down. Essential businesses such as grocery stores, pharmacies, and banks will remain open, but they are not to open before 8 a.m., and they are not to close after 8 p.m. Any person who violates these new regulations will be arrested and questioned, and may face up to 60 days imprisonment. Thank you for listening to this message.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a guest on our show today. Dr. Isaac Dunlop from the Centers for Disease Control's Thesteria Task Force has been investigating this new illness ever since the outbreak began. Dr. Dunlop, welcome to the show.
Of course. Thank you for having me on the show, Sam. So what we're seeing right now with this virus is that it's spreading quite easily among people. We're now at 20,000 cases of the virus, when it's only been around 5 weeks since the first person was believed to be infected.
Well, I'm no scientist, but I know that a virus spreading this rapidly is quite unusual. It's very concerning, and of course it must be an incredibly difficult situation for you and your team. You're working around the clock to combat this pandemic, but I want to ask, do we know how this disease is being spread?
Yes, our data indicates that the virus can be spread both by droplets or aerosols.
Well, yeah, and that's sort of what we expect. It's similar to a cold or a flu, if I'm remembering correctly, and those can be spread in both those ways.
That's funny, because that's what we thought at first. But then we started seeing some unusual things happening in infected patients. The patients were experiencing fluid buildup, forming in their lungs. Abscesses started to form. Eventually, breathing became so difficult we had to put them on a ventilator. However, even the ventilators didn't even help. The patients succumbed to their respiratory failure.
Oh, wow, that's scary. So what do you suppose we do to protect ourselves from this virus?
Well, first thing is kind of common sense. Make sure to wash your hands thoroughly after using the restroom or touching objects that maybe others have touched before you. Of course, keeping your distance from other people will also help. Most importantly, you should follow laws or local ordinances that have been set up in place to help stop the spread of the virus. I know in hotspot of the outbreak, there's a quarantine blockade set up.
Alright, and while we're on the subject of the blockade, there's been reports of a large protest inside Montgomery County concerning the harsh regulations set in place. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, of course, that's the right as citizens of the states. But you have to understand the reason these restrictions are in place is to ensure the virus doesn't spread to other areas of the country, which makes it easier for us to get rid of it.
Alright, we're running out of time here, but is there anything else you need to add before I let you go?
After the 1 to 4 day period, they're found unresponsive. They suddenly wake up to the thirst of blood and the hunger for brain. Yet they appear sensitive to bright light, which also seems like just a classic migraine. They don't have a stable walk. They just sort of wobble around.
Alright, thank you, Doctor.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Virginia Emergency Management Agency. The quarantine blockade around Montgomery County and the surrounding counties, which was designed to prevent the spread of the novel adenovirus BH8-DVC11, also known as Thesteria, has been breached. Protests inside the area turned violent as protesters began picking up firearms and firing at the officers who were guarding the blockade. As a result, the virus now has the ability to spread outside the quarantine area and into the rest of the state. Thesteria is a highly contagious and deadly virus which has the unique ability to spread to the host's nervous system, driving them into a bloodthirsty rage with an appetite for the brains of those who are not yet infected. Due to the virus's contagious and deadly nature, the entire state of Virginia will be placed under a strict lockdown, effective at midnight tonight. All roadways which go out of state will be blocked off and guarded by police, state troopers, and military personnel. All flights inside the state of Virginia will be grounded. All shipping ports in the state will be closed. All non-essential businesses will be closed. A mandatory curfew will be set in place. All residents must be indoors by 5 p.m. and must remain indoors until 9 a.m. the following morning, unless you are a licensed medical professional. Anyone who attempts to cross state lines will be arrested, or possibly met with lethal force. These regulations may seem harsh, but they are only there for your safety, and are meant to be taken seriously. Stay tuned for more information on this developing situation.
Virginia 911, Operator 736, what's the nature of your emergency?
Got to help me, man. My roommate, he's gone completely insane.
Beautiful. What is the location you're calling from, sir?
I'm calling from...
Alright, do you know why your roommate's gone insane?
No! All I know is that he got really sick like a week ago, and he's been in bed for the past, 2 days.
Okay, what's he trying to do, sir?
I went to check up on him, and he just got up from his bed and started attacking me, and grabbing at my head. Oh, God! He's trying to get in here!
Oh, Joseph, come on out. I want to eat your brains. I know you're in there.
Oh, God! Please, hurry!
Okay, go ahead, stay on the line for me. Is your roommate infected with the new virus?
Yes, I believe so.
Alrighty, sir. Help's on the way. You should see a couple of people in white hazmat suits. They'll take you and your friend to a quarantine facility and monitor your symptoms.
Joseph, I'm hungry. I want to eat your brains. I know where you're hiding.
Oh, God, when are they gonna get here?
They'll be there in 5 minutes, sir.
5 minutes? What if he tries to break in here?
Sir, just go ahead, barricade the door as best as you can. Police should be there soon and be able to assist you as soon as possible.
There's nothing I can barricade the door with except for my body.
Alright, I'm coming in.
Oh, God! Get away! Get away from me! Oh, God! Oh, God! Please help me!
Sir? Sir, are you there? Fuck. Alright.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, in conjunction with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Within the past 3 days, cases of the novel adenovirus BHADVC11, also known as diphtheria, have been reported outside Virginia, and have begun appearing in the states of Maryland, North Carolina, and West Virginia. BHADVC11 is a highly contagious and deadly virus which can quickly spread from person to person. There are currently 150,000 cases of this virus in these states. Symptoms of this illness include fever, coughing, difficulty breathing or swallowing, and chest pain, which may later progress to more serious symptoms such as respiratory failure, lung abscesses, and eventually, the virus will spread to the nervous system, making the infected individual appear dead for 1 to 4 days before waking once again in a homicidal rage with a thirst for blood and hunger for the brain of a person or animal that has not yet been infected. Due to its highly contagious nature and unusual features, the Federal Emergency Management Agency will set forth a special protocol created for the purpose of trying to eliminate this virus. As a result, the martial law which was originally declared in Virginia has now been extended to Maryland, North Carolina, and West Virginia. All roadways which go out of state will be blocked off. and guarded by police, state troopers, and military personnel. All flights inside these states will be grounded. All shipping ports in these states will be closed. All businesses will be closed, but hospitals and urgent care facilities will remain open. Food and water rations will be delivered to your home. No person will be allowed outside their homes, unless they are licensed medical professionals. Anyone who leaves their home without their medical license will be arrested on site and interrogated. If you attempt to cross state lines into a state which has not declared martial law, you will be shot, regardless of your age or ability. These rules will be enforced by local police, state troopers, National Guardsmen, and military personnel. If anyone inside your household shows so much as one of the previously mentioned symptoms, cut off contact with the person in question and call 911 immediately so that authorities can take your entire household to a secure location and monitor your symptoms individually for at least 30 days. If you begin showing homicidal tendencies, you will be killed as a precautionary measure. These regulations are meant to be taken extremely seriously, as this virus cannot be allowed to spread any further than it already has. Stay tuned for more information on this dangerous situation.
Right, so the virus has now spread to other US states like Maryland, North Carolina, and West Virginia.
So what's the current figure on the number of cases?
About 150,000. And the government just put the additional states under martial law.
Okay, hold on. So you're telling me the martial law in Virginia doesn't work. So your solution is to keep doing it in the other states. What sense does that make?
Well, that's all they can do anyway. I mean, it's up to the authorities to enforce these laws, and it's up to us to try and find a way to get rid of the virus.
So have we found anything?
Not yet. The virus seems to be much more resistant to antiviral medications.
Ah, great. This is just gonna be harder than I thought.
Well, I'm optimistic that we'll get to a solution. I've already got a few ideas.
Such as?
Well, we know that whenever the virus infects a cell, it releases some of its proteins so that it can make more copies of itself, which seems to help spread the virus. So we need to find a way to sort of block this virus from making copies of itself, and if we can, we may be able to slow the spread of the virus.
Right, but if we don't know which compounds or solutions inhibit the process of DNA replication, how can we expect to slow the spread of the virus?
Well, that's what we are here to figure out. We know that the virus bears a similarity to adenoviruses. We've found other medications in the past which were used to treat these viruses. Perhaps we should start looking in that direction and see if they work.
Right. You also have to take into account the overabundance of core proteins 6 and 8.
Well, hopefully that won't be an issue. If we can find a way to get rid of those two proteins, which we should be able to, considering it is the same kind of protein as a regular adenovirus, it will weaken the virus to the point where it can easily be eliminated with just our white blood cells.
Another thing we can do, if that doesn't work, find something to block the pentons from hijacking cells.
I've been working on a new solution for that as well. We are in the process of trying to discover a new compound which will inhibit the receptors from being able to inject RNA into the cell.
Well, let's get to work, see what we can find.
The following is a follow-up to the special bulletin released 2 months ago. Within the last 3 months, a new virus was discovered in domestic cattle in Virginia. It has since spread to other states on the East Coast, which includes the following states: Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. The virus was named BHADVC11 and given a street name Hysteria. Common symptoms of this virus include fever, coughing, difficulty breathing or swallowing, and chest pain, which may later progress to more serious symptoms such as respiratory failure, lung abscesses, and eventually, The virus will spread to the nervous system, making the infected individual appear dead for 1 to 4 days before waking once again in homicidal rage with a thirst for blood and hunger for the brain of a person or animal that has not yet been infected. If an infected individual does happen to bite another person in their homicidal rage state, the virus will spread to the victim's bloodstream, causing them to be infected with the virus and eventually causing them to also turn violent. At this stage, the only known method of stopping these individuals is by severing the brain, or removing the brain from the rest of the body. The current number of cases for this virus as of this morning is close to 2 million. Our research team has been working tirelessly to figure out a way to prevent this virus from spreading further, and trying to find a treatment for the virus. The United States government has set forth a special protocol specifically designed for situations such as these. At this time, a strict martial law has been set up in the following states: New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. In these states, all roadways which go out of bounds will be blocked off and guarded by police, state troopers, and military personnel. All flights inside these states will be grounded. All shipping ports in these states will be closed. All businesses will be closed, but hospitals and urgent care facilities will remain open. Food and water rations will be delivered twice weekly directly to your homes. No person will be allowed outside their homes unless they are licensed medical professionals. Anyone who leaves their home without their medical license will be arrested on site and interrogated. Any attempt to cross state lines into a state which has not declared martial law will be met with lethal force, regardless of age or ability. This is a very serious matter and these regulations are not intended to be taken lightly. If you or anyone else in your household is experiencing so much as one of the symptoms of BHADVC11, call 911 immediately and local authorities will take your entire household to a secure location, where you will be monitored separately for at least 30 days. If you begin to show signs of violent behavior from the virus, you will be euthanized as a safety measure. Thank you for listening to this message.
This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended. Please await further instructions. This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended. Please await further instructions. This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended. Please await further instructions.
This message is broadcast by the BBC at the request of the Department of Health and Social Care. This is a public health announcement regarding a new illness which has begun infecting the people of southern and eastern England. The virus which causes this illness has been identified as BHADVC11, which is a new illness which originated in the eastern United States, and has spread to other areas of the country, and is now showing up in the UK. An estimated 5,000 people in the UK have been infected with this virus. This virus is particularly dangerous because it has the ability to hijack the host's nervous system, driving them to a homicidal state, and causing the host to desire eating the brains and drinking the blood of those who have not yet been infected. Early symptoms of this disease include fever, prolonged coughing fits, chest pain, shortness of breath, and increased sputum production. In response to this outbreak, Public Health England has begun its own hysteria task force, and entire counties may be placed under lockdown in the near future to prevent the spread of this outbreak. If you or someone you know has been infected with this virus, do not hesitate to call the Department of Health and Social Care at 0300 790 4007 and inform them of your location and current situation. Members of our task force will assess your symptoms in a controlled environment for at least 4 weeks to ensure you will not be a danger to the public. If you are attacked by an infected individual, the only way of stopping them is by severing the brain, or removing it from the rest of the body. They tend to stay in dark areas, and come out of hiding at night time. The Prime Minister is expected to be speaking on 531 kHz on the AM band at 6 p.m. tonight. Stay calm, stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay tuned for any further updates as this situation develops.
We interrupt our regular programming. This is a national emergency. Important details will follow. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. The President of the United States, or another authorized federal official, will shortly deliver a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by.
My fellow Americans, this message has been given authorization to transmit on our radio and television station at the request of myself, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the United States government. This is not a drill. I say this once more. This is not a drill. I ask that you pay very close attention to the words I'm about to say as they pertain to an ongoing global crisis, and the information provided may be essential to your survival. Over the past 3 months, a novel antivirus by the name of CHADV-C11 has been affecting millions in the eastern portion of the United States. It has even started spreading to other parts of the world, such as Canada, and even into Western and Central Europe. This virus has been given the street name Xerxia. It is commonly spread from person-to-person contact, although it is possible for the virus to become airborne. Early symptoms of this virus include fever, prolonged coughing fits, chest pain, shortness of breath, and increased feeling production. This will progress into more serious symptoms such as difficulty breathing or speaking, respiratory failure, lung abscesses, until eventually the virus spreads to the nervous system, thus hijacking it and turning the host into a homicidal, bloodthirsty lunatic whose only desire is to eat the brains and drink the blood of people who have not yet been infected. They are quite sensitive to bright light and tend to only congregate in dark areas and come out of hiding during the night. But as the stage of the illness, the only way to stop these individuals is by completely severing the brain or removing it entirely from the rest of the body. It has quickly become apparent that this virus cannot be stopped from spreading throughout the eastern region of the United States due to the military and police forces being crippled and weak to the point where they can no longer protect their continents. Due to this, we have made the incredibly hard decision to end our jurisdiction of all states east of the Mississippi River. All military and government operations will cease in those states and will be relocated to the western states. All utilities, including gas, electricity, water, and internet, will be cut off identically. No resident east of the Mississippi will be able to rely on the government assistance. Absolutely no refugees from the east will be permitted to stay in the western states. The rest of the country will be placed under a strict lockdown policy. No one will be allowed outside of their homes unless they are licensed medical professionals. Rations will be delivered to your doorstep every 72 hours, which will include 3 days worth of food, water, and any medication you may be prescribed. It pains my heart to say this, But if you believe that you have been infected with this virus, commit suicide immediately. I understand this sounds harsh, but once you've been infected, you are as good as dead to us. If someone else you know has gotten infected, you are now legally obligated to kill them for the greater good of humanity. These regulations are meant to be taken extremely seriously, and failure to comply with these regulations will result in criminal to the fullest extension of the law, up to and including the death penalty. This virus cannot be allowed to spread any further than it already has. Most importantly, do not panic. I repeat, do not panic. Panicking will only make the situation worse. Doctors and medical scientists around the world are currently working tirelessly around the clock to try and find a cure for this virus. Don't give up hope in these times of uncertainty and fear. I must reiterate that doctors are currently working to find a cure for the virus and restore peace to the American people. We will rise up again stronger than ever, one nation under God. Thank you for doing your part to keep yourself and others safe. May God be with us all. Thank you.
That was a message from a designated representative of the President of the United States. Please stay tuned for this message. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued indefinitely during this emergency. This is WSLS. We will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions from the Roanoke area. If you are not in this local area, tune now to a station providing news and information for your local area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from the station in your local area. Do not use the telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use only. The emergency alert system has been activated. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued indefinitely during this emergency. This is WSLS.
Der folgende ist eine Bekanntmachung der deutschen Bundesregierung zum Thema Gesundheit. Eine kürzlich entdeckte Krankheit, die aus den Vereinigten Staaten stammt, hat nun begonnen, Personen in mehreren Bundesländern zu infizieren, darunter Berlin, Brandenburg, Sachsen-Anhalt und Thüringen. In Deutschland sind rund 3500 Fälle des Virus bekannt. Die Krankheit verursacht im Anfangsstadium Atemprobleme, im späteren Stadium greift sie auf das Nervensystem über und treibt die Betroffenen in einen mörderischen Wahn, der nur durch die Entfernung des Gehirns vom restlichen Körper gestoppt werden kann. Aufgrund der ungewöhnlichen Eigenschaften dieses Virus sollten die Bewohner dieser Staaten in ihren Häusern bleiben und den Kontakt mit Personen außerhalb ihres Haushalts vermeiden. Die Bundesregierung wird in Kürze Abriegelungsmaßnahmen ergreifen, um die Ausbreitung des Virus zu verhindern. Wir danken Ihnen für Ihre Mithilfe. Der Bundeskanzler wird sich in der nächsten Stunde in allen wichtigen Medien äußern.
다음은 대한민국 정부의 공중보건 관련 공지사항입니다. 최근 미국에서 발생한 질병이 서울, 인천, 수원, 서산 등 여러 지역에서 감염자가 발생하고 있습니다. 현재 국내에서는 약 3,000명이 감염된 것으로 추정됩니다. 증상으로는 발열, 장기간의 기침, 가슴 통증, 호흡 곤란, 가래 생성 증가 등이 있으며 호흡 곤란이나 말하기, 호흡 부전, 폐농양으로 진행되어 결국에는 바이러스가 신경계로 퍼져 숙주를 살인자로 만들 수 있습니다. 이 바이러스의 특이한 특성과 확산 가능성으로 인해 해당 도시의 모든 거주자는 실내에 머물며 가족 외 다른 사람과의 접촉을 피해야 합니다. 이 도시들은 바이러스 확산을 막기 위해 곧 격리 조치될 예정입니다. 윤석열 총장은 곧 언론 매체를 통해 메시지를 전달할 예정입니다. 계속 지켜봐 주시기 바랍니다.
Fuck. This is bad. Look at this report. We're up 40 million cases now. The virus apparently spread to countries like Canada, UK, Germany, even fucking South Korea.
Ah, god damn it. We didn't close the airports in time.
And what's worse is the Western states have now begun showing signs of thesteria. One of the flights from Atlanta to LA may have had an infected individual on it, and the test may have not detected it.
So you're saying that there could potentially be people around the Los Angeles area with the virus?
Possibly?
Well, this is just perfect. I guess cutting off the eastern states did jack fuck all to stop the spread. What other areas have begun to show signs?
Well, according to this report, cases in Denver, Colorado, Phoenix, Arizona, El Paso, Texas, and Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, it's a good thing they put the martial law in place. Hopefully it will at least slow the spread, giving us more time to find a cure.
As I remember, that didn't exactly work when they first declared martial law in Virginia. Everyone got pissed off, they broke through the blockade, and guess what? The virus spread to other states. Who's to say that won't happen again in this case?
That is a very legitimate concern, although that's not exactly in our control.
So, have we found anything to stop the virus from infecting people?
Not yet. We've tried a vast array of different medications, and none of them have been effective.
Fuck.
Event type is biological hazard. This message is being broadcast by order of Health Canada. The recently discovered virus named BHADVC11, also known as thesteria, has begun to spread into the eastern part of Canada. Provinces affected include Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. Symptoms of this virus include fever, prolonged coughing fits, chest pain, shortness of breath, and increased phlegm production. This will progress into more serious symptoms such as difficulty breathing or speaking, respiratory failure, lung abscesses, until eventually, the virus spreads to the nervous system, thus hijacking it and invoking a mindless, homicidal rage in the host, and a desire to eat the brains and drink the blood of those who have not yet been infected. The only effective method of stopping an individual at this stage of the disease is by severing the host's brain, or removing it from the rest of the body. There are currently 100,000 cases across all 5 of the affected provinces. As such, these 5 provinces will be placed under a strict quarantine to prevent the virus from spreading further. No person will be allowed outside their home, unless it is essential travel. If you believe you are infected with this virus, call 911 or your local emergency service number, and authorities will take you to a specialized quarantine area. Stay tuned to media outlets for further updates and instructions.
Le type d'événement est risque biologique. Ce message est diffusé à la demande de Health Canada. Le virus récemment découvert, appelé BHAD5C11, également connu sous le nom de thesteria, a commencé à se propager dans l'est du Canada. Les provinces touchées sont les suivantes: Ontario, Québec, Nouveau-Brunswick, Nouvelle-Écosse et Île-du-Prince-Édouard. Les symptômes de ce virus sont les suivants: fièvre, quinte de toux prolongée, douleurs thoraciques, essoufflement et production accrue de mucosité. Ils évoluent ensuite vers des symptômes plus graves tels que des difficultés à respirer ou à parler, une insuffisance respiratoire, des abcès pulmonaires, jusqu'à ce que le virus se propage au système nerveux, le détournant ainsi et provoquant chez l'hôte une rage meurtrière et irréfléchie, ainsi qu'un désir de manger le cerveau et de boire le sang de ceux qui n'ont pas encore été infectés. La seule méthode efficace pour arrêter un individu à ce stade de la maladie est de couper le cerveau de l'hôte ou de le séparer du reste du corps. Il y a actuellement 100 000 cas dans les 5 provinces touchées. Ces 5 provinces seront donc placées en quarantaine stricte afin d'empêcher le virus de se propager davantage. Personne ne sera autorisé à sortir de chez lui, à moins qu'il ne s'agisse d'un voyage indispensable. Si vous pensez être infecté par ce virus, composez le 911 ou le numéro de votre service d'urgence local, et les autorités vous emmèneront dans une zone de quarantaine spécialisée. Restez à l'écoute des médias pour de nouvelles mises à jour et instructions.
This new compound seems to be more effective at disabling and destroying the virus, but still not strong enough to cause any real improvement.
Well, at least we're getting somewhere.
So if there is somehow a way to increase this compound's potency, or find a different compound which is better equipped to destroy the virus, perhaps that could help treat the illness.
Hey, we gotta let boss know. These findings might just save our asses, dude. Fuck? What the fuck was that?
Oh, fuck. Some of the infected individuals have gotten into the lab.
Fuck.
Get down and lock the door.
How many of them are out there?
I don't exactly know, but by the sound of this, there could be upwards of 50 of them just in this hole. Just keep quiet and let's just hope they don't notice us.
This is an important message from the South African government. This is not a test. Please listen carefully to the following emergency announcement. To receive information in another language, please switch to an SABC station in your language.
Om inlichting in een ander taal te ontvangen, schakel alsjeblieft voor naar een SABC-statie in jouw taal.
This is an urgent announcement pertaining to an ongoing global pandemic. BHADVC11, also known as Hysteria, has begun to infect the people of South Africa. It originated in the United States and made its way to South Africa via a flight to the Johannesburg airport. This virus is especially dangerous due to its ability to hijack the central nervous system, turning the infected into a homicidal maniac with an appetite for the brains of those who have not been infected. An estimated 50,000 people have been infected with this virus in South Africa, and due to the fact that this virus has brought the US and UK down to its knees, and should it spread further in South Africa, it may lead to total governmental collapse, and so the country will be placed under lockdown in the near future to prevent the spread of this virus. If you believe you are showing symptoms of hysteria, isolate yourself from your family to prevent them from getting infected. If someone in your family shows signs of this virus, desert or euthanize them immediately for the greater good of the human species. Keep in mind that refusal to do so will only result in the infected person viciously attacking anyone in sight, thus putting your life in danger. In the event that you are attacked by an infected individual, the only way of stopping them is by severing the brain, or removing it from the rest of the body. Stay tuned for more information.
This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended. Please await further instructions. This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended. Please await further instructions. This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended. Please await further instructions.
This message is broadcast by the BBC at the request of His Majesty's government. The outbreak of BHA-DVC-11, also known as Hysteria, has completely devastated our country. Public Health England's Hysteria Task Force has tried everything in its power to stop the spread of this deadly virus, including mobilizing military forces to conduct widespread sweeps of towns and cities. However, due to its ability to induce a non-sentient homicidal rage state which is extremely difficult to control, the military forces were completely overpowered by the infected individuals, and most of them soon perished, and as a result, chaos soon unfolded across all of the UK. Of the UK's 70 million residents, almost 40% of them have either died, or have been sucked into a homicidal rage state. In the wake of these circumstances, as of May 1, 2027 at 3 a.m. British Summer Time, the United Kingdom has officially collapsed. As such, this will be our final broadcast. His Majesty's government will no longer be able to assist you. You are all on your own now. Good luck to all who remain, and farewell.
The following is a national emergency message being broadcast by order of the Government of Canada. A recently discovered virus named BHA-DVC-11, also known as Hysteria, has crippled the entirety of Canada. Despite our efforts to prevent the spread of the virus, all of our efforts have been in vain. This virus is simply too powerful to be contained due to its highly contagious nature, and its unique ability to invoke a non-sentient homicidal rage state, which is nearly impossible to control. Our military forces conducted a series of full sweeps of heavily populated areas. However, these forces have been completely overrun by the homicidal infected individuals. 18 million Canadians are believed to be deceased. The entire country is in complete disarray due to the lack of available forces. Effective May 4, 2027 at 5:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Canada has officially collapsed. This has been our final message to the remaining people of Canada. Good luck, and Godspeed.
Le message suivant est un message d'urgence nationale diffusé à la demande du gouvernement du Canada. Le virus récemment découvert, appelé BHA-5C11, également connu sous le nom de Hysteria, a paralysé l'ensemble du Canada. Malgré nos efforts pour empêcher la propagation du virus, tous nos efforts ont été vains. Ce virus est tout simplement trop puissant pour être contenu en raison de sa nature hautement contagieuse et de sa capacité unique à invoquer un état de rage homicide non sensible, qui est presque impossible à contrôler. Nos forces militaires ont procédé à une série de ratissages complets des zones fortement peuplées, mais elles ont été complètement débordées par les individus infectés et homicides. On estima à 18 millions le nombre de Canadiens décédés. Le pays tout entier est en plein désarroi en raison du manque de forces disponibles. À compter du 4 mai 2027, à 5h15, heure normale de l'est, le Canada s'est officiellement effondré. Ceci est notre dernier message au peuple canadien restant. Bonne chance et bon vent.
Look at this lab, the country, our world. What's become of it? Nothing. Entire countries are collapsing. Cities around the world are in complete chaos. 200 million people are now dead or have been turned into mindless homicidal freaks. And for what? Because of a virus? Because of something so small we need an electron microscope just to see it? Or is it because our government has become so incompetent that they had to resort to tyranny just to attempt to contain the virus? Oh, yeah, by the way, failed miserably. Or because people believed so fiercely in their freedoms that they were willing to fight for them at the expense of the safety of others. Look where it's gotten us. In some sort of pandemic pandemonium on this slippery slope towards hell. At this rate, considering the fact this virus has been seen on every continent, including fucking Antarctica, for God's sake, how did that even happen anyhow? Well, if we don't fix up this lab, continue our research, all things considered, I'm left unsure of how humanity will go on. Even if we come up with a viable treatment, projections state that at least 1 in 2 people around the world will contract the virus and die from it. So, I ask, in this stage of the outbreak, is humanity worth fighting for? Is it worth continuing to bust our asses day and night to figure out how to stop humanity from extinction? Or should we just let what remains of humanity figure out how to survive on their own? Perhaps there's still a sliver of hope for humanity to hang on to.
Dr. Dunlop, what are you saying?
Nothing. It's stupid.
Well, let's try to get this lab back in working order, and we'll see if we still have those samples.
Brains. Jesus Christ! Stay back! Stay back! Stay back! I will fucking shoot you! I swear to God I will shoot you! Get the fuck back!
Shit! He's still coming toward me!
Stay away!
Quick! Find something to sever his brain!
Fuck. I can't find anything.
What? Don't fucking run away! I'm in fucking danger! Help me out! Brains.
Oh god, oh shit, oh fuck.
Stay the fuck down, you sick son of a bitch!
Holy fuck! That was close. Make sure he's actually dead this time.
Looks like it to me.
Alright, now we fixed the lab up.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the United States government. The bacteria pandemic has intensified. Cases of the virus are now being reported on every continent of the world, including Antarctica. The pandemic has caused many countries around the world to collapse. An estimated 60% of all Americans have either died, become animalistic in nature, or have been cut off for the greater good of our nation. Emergency services are having extreme difficulty tending to the needs of the people due to the virus, and so it is not guaranteed that you will receive a response should you decide to call 911. At this time, it is advised that you shelter in place. To shelter in place, stay inside your homes, and lock all windows, doors, and other entrances. Turn off all heating and air conditioning systems, and close all fireplace dampers. Seal up any cracks or holes in your home with tape, damp towels, or caulking. If an infected individual attempts to break into your home, you are advised to use armed protection by any means possible, including the use of guns, knives, baseball bats, and other objects. Do not, under any circumstances, leave your home without proper protection. The outside environment is extremely deadly, and anyone who goes outside for longer than 20 minutes without the highest level of protection is guaranteed to contract the virus. Most importantly, do not panic, as panicking will only make the situation worse. Do not lose hope just yet. The CDC is currently working to try and find a treatment for this virus. The United States government is still trying to plan how to provide assistance to all of the remaining citizens of this country. Stay tuned for further updates.
Okay, so if we take this compound and combine that with these terpenes, and then... Hello?
Hey, I got terrible news. I woke up yesterday morning feeling sick. I went to go get tested, and I tested positive for dysentery. Quarantine in the lab sick bay. I'll be monitored there for the time being. But you and I both know how this will play out. So, at this point, I'm just waiting for the Lord to take me on. You'll have to do this without me.
Wait, what? No, I refuse to let you die. Not if I have anything to do about it.
I'm afraid there's not anything else we can do except let nature do her thing. If this is, in fact, my final goodbye, let my family know I love them dearly. And any family that's left, anyways. I'll see you on the other side.
No. This is not happening. Not today. Not today!
We interrupt our programming. This is a global emergency. Important instructions will follow.
Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. The President of the United States or another authorized federal official will shortly deliver a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by.
My fellow Americans, this message has been given authorization to transmit on a radio and television station at the request of myself, the Department of Homeland Security, and the United States government. I come before you all today over the emergency alert system to admit defeat. The pandemic of the virus VHA-DVC-11 has intensified even further, focusing governments around the world to collapse and turning entire countries to a hellish, apocalyptic landscape. Although people breaking down, Blockade was the biggest factor in the spread of the virus. I feel like our government has also failed in protecting the American people from this virus. I feel as though I have also failed as president for failing to stop the virus from spreading before it was too late. I guess we were so caught up in our belief that we were this unstoppable nation that nothing could bring us down. But now as I stand here, 60% of the United States dead, still counting, I have opened up my eyes to the truth. This virus cannot be stopped with our current technology. According to the current data from the CDC, 1 in 2 people worldwide are projected to contact the virus and soon die. Under these circumstances, effective at its current time, May 11, 2027, at 5:58 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the United States of America has collapsed. As such, I will resign the office of President of the United States, and all federal government operations will have been shut down. You will no longer be able to rely on the government system. You as individual citizens will be forced to fend for yourselves. This could very well be our final message as one nation under God. Goodbye.
The government collapsed, huh? Good. Fuck 'em. At least I don't gotta pay taxes anymore. I can live just fine here in these woods. Got a tent, nice fire going, plenty of food, and a good source of water nearby. I'm all good here. I do miss my wife, though.
I've concocted a new chemical solution. If my calculations are right, this should give enough yield to fight off the virus. But let's test it out first. Come on, do something. Wait, it's doing something. Ha ha! Yes! It's working! It's killing the virus! I found it! I found a treatment! Hopefully Dr. Dunlop is still alive so I can administer treatment. I gotta get down to sick bay. Oh no. Blood oxygen level is decreasing rapidly. Respiration is slowing. I have to administer this IV, and quick. Come on! Stay with me! Live, goddammit! Oxygen level is increasing again. Breathing is becoming more clear. Color is returning to the skin. Okay, this is a good sign. Oh. Eyes are opening.
Huh? I'm alive.
Haha! Yes! You're alive! The IV worked! Do you know what this means?
Holy shit, I'm actually alive. How the fuck?
Okay, so I made an IV drip out of 0.8% pinene, citrus peel essence, and 4% hydroxychloroquine, and somehow that was the perfect combination to kill off the virus.
That's great. We gotta get this information out. We could be saving countless lives with what you found.
That's gonna be difficult because the federal government literally just collapsed yesterday morning.
What?
Yeah, you must have been knocked out when that happened.
Is that why it looks like everyone's gone?
I think so, but how are we supposed to get this treatment out?
You said federal government. Are there any local governments still active?
There are 8 counties in the state of California that are still active, but even if we do get in contact with them, I'm not sure how seriously they will take us.
There's only really one way to find out.
This is an emergency action termination. The United States government has been fully restored. However, the virus has still not yet fully been contained. In addition, emergency services are expected to be severely understaffed. Until more first responders can't be hired, calling 911 may not guarantee a response. Martial law will continue effective immediately, considering the virus still poses a threat among the public. Please visit your state's government website to see what martial laws have been implemented in your state. The virus is still heavily prevalent in Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, and Africa, so travel there is highly discouraged. The President is expected to speak on all media outlets tomorrow morning. This concludes all national operations under the emergency alert system. Your government thanks you for your cooperation during this emergency. All normal programming operations will now resume.
Welcome back to Channel 10 News. I'm Sam Schroeder, and it's finally good to be back. The President is expected to give his address to the nation in just a few moments. We'll show you a live look right now.
My fellow Americans, I'm proud to say we are able to overcome perhaps the deadliest virus in human history. According to certain data, 85% of the remaining U.S. citizens who are affected with the virus are currently receiving or are soon experiencing to receive treatment for the BHA-TBC11 virus. And that number is still going up, but we can't deny the content it took to get here. Of the 335 million people who once inhabit this country, only 120 million are still with us. It will take perhaps years to return to somewhat economic and societal normalcy. The impact this virus has on our planet will be remembered for generations to come. But America has withstood countless global disasters, and I'm sure that this will be no exception. I would like to thank the American people for their resilience during this pandemic. I would like to thank our doctors and first responders for their dedication and service. I would like to thank the team of virologists at the Center for Disease Control who were able to come up with a treatment for the virus. I have no doubt that America will soon rise up stronger than ever as one nation under God. Thank you.
Do keep in mind that the virus remains a threat in many areas of the country, and the state of Virginia has reinstated its curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., and you are still required to wear a face mask in any public setting. Due to the drastic change in population, many emergency services are severely understaffed and are setting up hiring fairs to recruit anyone who wants to be a first responder. More on this after these messages.
Good to finally be back.
Yep. Now we can actually mass produce the treatment and send it across the world.
I told you I would find an answer.
No need to rub it in my face. Besides, took a big part in this one too. I almost died twice.
Whatever you say.
You actually almost died 3 times. Now both you get your asses in the truck. We got treatments to ship out.